What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of 4 Dummies, and tonight I am joined with the other 3 dummies. I have Mr. Robert Detoff.
Hello.
Mr. Jisk1.
Yo, what's happening?
And Mrs. Skullface.
Hello.
And we have Cody still here, ladies and gentlemen, from England.
Hello.
Look at that. He's here the whole month.
By the way, if you would like to hear the uncut version of this episode, as well as Sit Down Saturday and a whole lot more, feel free to check out Patreon at the $5 level, where you can get all of that and more. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about something. And the thing that I wanted to talk about was mainly this T-Spark stuff that's coming out of Takara, so to speak, recently. And they've shown off an awful lot of Predaking, transforming Flame Toys inspired Hot Rod or Adamas, Zoid stuff, Valkyrie, Macross crossover stuff, and then of course like the Rat Trap Masterpiece and all of that. Robert, you're the big Beast Wars guy. Are you happy to get this Rat Trap announcement?
Oh, I'm very happy. I am very, very happy. I mean, he is shell forming, but he's supposed to be, which is funny. I'm very happy. I love having an MP Beast Wars collection.
Do you want the mouse to scale with the gorilla or the bots to scale?
I mean, you know, it's funny with no, you know, it's interesting. Beast Wars, I think even in the show, it stays true. You don't have this, so like a big thing turns into a big bot, small thing. So you get Rat Trap is an appropriately sized robot. There's no mass shifting.
Robert, I hope you're going to display him as a rat.
Oh yeah, I actually do enjoy displaying my Beast Wars as beasts.
I would too.
That one won't die either.
Yeah, because look at the robot of this. Look at all the bull that's hanging off of the back of this thing, Robert.
And it's true to form.
Yeah, but that's how he was.
With his little pink paw hanging off the side and its foot on the back. Is this the right thing? This thing looks terrible, dude.
And that's what he looked like.
God.
He looked this bad in the show. You know, he had the fucking human hands.
So look,
he's giving himself a high five in that picture.
I've been pretty public that and honest that I think that these are some of the most poorly designed characters in all of fictional history.
The Beast Wars in general?
Yeah, I think that I think that very few of them look presentable. I think Primal is presentable, and that's probably it. Like I think that they are really.
Are you crazy? Megatron looks amazing.
So I would disagree. I think that all of them look really, 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 really dumb.
What is Megatron? I know Primal's
a T-Rex, purple T-Rex.
Oh, okay.
A purple T-Rex.
And dude, the arm is the head of the T-Rex. I hate that design.
But I want to say this. I was when I saw this, I was genuinely happy for Beast Wars collectors, because he was kind of the missing piece of the puzzle for that set of like heroes from that show. And the idea that somebody who was like really into that show could have this like core cast finally brought together, like I was overcome with joy for those people.
This Rat Trap is like something you would get if you told like your grandma, like, oh, I like Transformers, and she didn't know what it was, and you're trying to explain what it is, and she goes, oh, this is it, right? It turns into something. You're like, no.
Have you watched Beast Wars?
This is what she finds and gets you.
Jisk, have you watched Beast Wars?
No, never, not one episode. No. And let me tell you why. Even the fact I was like, cool. It was Transformers, and I'm like, well, wait, they're animals? Doesn't make sense to me. And then I hated the way the animation looked too. It's just everything about it is not for me. So this photo.
You don't like Adamas.
Oh, Robert, please tell me this is how you're gonna display this with
hands over the head.
The rat riding the gorilla, riding the rhinoceros.
Oh.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, look at this.
That's from the show.
Yeah. Oh, isn't that great? I can't wait to see this episode.
Watch it.
That's a big rat. Robert, that rat's not in scale.
No, that's not in scale.
No, he was always a big, stupid rat. Like, that was what he looked like.
But I like, look, it looks like the show, you know, like, you can't blame Takara for the way this looks. Like, this looks like the show. And I think that a lot of people were afraid, especially with the MPG merge of the branding of the name, that they wouldn't be able to finish that line. And I'm happy that they're going to finish it.
Let's talk about this Predaking for a minute, if we can.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I think it's super disappointing to me.
Really?
Because I think it looks really cool. I wish it was bigger. I'm disappointed with how small it is.
So I don't think there's a world that exists where you were going to get this bigger, so to speak. This is something new for Takara. And I've seen people online, specifically on the forums, like have a really hard time wrapping their mind around this. But, people are like, well, this isn't going to scale with this, and this isn't going to scale with that, and it's not meant for this. And I'm like, yeah, and it's not supposed to. This is like...
Right, I don't need it to...
No, and I'm not saying you do. I'm not saying you do.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking for the
what's it supposed to do then?
It's just a great piece.
Right.
So it's
right.
just a one-off.
Yes, when Solar Chijoken does a Voltron, they don't give a how that Voltron scales with anything else in your collection. They're just doing that Voltron.
So, and I'll tell you that's also my one issue with that. So I just wish it was bigger. I just want it to feel, especially this thing, bigger would make it feel more imposing. It doesn't need to stand next to anything, even if I'm just putting it on the shelf by itself.
Yeah, I get that.
It's like
How
a
big
lot
is
of those
it?
combiners look so
12
great. Like
inches.
even that Unicron, because it's so big.
Yeah, but because it's the size it is, they save a lot of money on their end in design. They don't have to worry about the joints as much because this is a glorified Legends. It's
Right.
Legends figures with one like Voyager.
Yeah, so it's not, but they're not even figures. Do you know what I mean? Like they are by definition, but they're just figures in the sense of saying like, look, we did them. This
Right.
thing is all about this combined piece.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you look at how big the core bot is and how small the limbots are.
You're
Like
getting all friction joints.
you put this thing in a DTOF or like someplace that shows meaning by itself, and this thing is going to kick.
I got to see the painted versions of it too.
Yeah, me too.
Because it may look cool enough. It may look good enough where once it's all painted and put together, it just is so dope.
I think that this is a love letter. Like this feels like people that were passionate about this character and wanted to make the most most intimidating version of this that they possibly could for other people that love this character.
Right.
Now, it looks like it's going to have a frame, huh?
Like parts forming pieces?
Yeah, it should.
Yeah, I think so.
It should. I mean, and that means you're going to have a well-articulated, well-put-together, Predaking. You don't have to worry about it being, when the individual bots aren't complex at all.
Yeah, they look awful. I mean, well, the Razor Claw looks all right, but the individual bots look awful. But they're not...
In both modes, though, even the beast modes don't look great.
Correct, but they were never meant to. They were never meant to.
Right. This was about
as far as they're concerned. In my opinion, these two modes are just a bonus to you to show you that they also do this.
What is the chance that this thing turns out like that train, like that Raiden?
I'm going to say 0. I think it's just a different approach.
Yeah. This is almost like oh my god, what was that company that did that, like G1? It was like a G1 inspired. Did that? It was like a Ice Age combiner, and it was all like new.
Oh yeah, that was Fans Project. That was Fans Project. It was supposed to be like the kind of like unlisted like Autobot answer to Predaking.
Yeah,
it was cool though.
It reminds me of that.
Did they do that? Like they actually made it and finished it?
Yeah, but they did it like G1. Like it would fit with your G1 collection.
I gotcha.
I loved it. I loved it conceptually.
Have they said anything about like the price point of this thing?
They haven't. Okay. My guess is going to be around $350. That's my guess.
You think it's going to just be one solid, like a box set?
100%.
Yeah.
I love
that
this.
Would be cool. It makes sense if you're getting 4 little bots and a core bot, have it in one set.
And I also love how it is so confusing to such a large swath of the Transformer fandom. Like I just love watching them trying to figure it out. But yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see how this thing holds together and like, I don't know.
And they have a picture of it like doing a pose somewhere, and it's obviously like a super studio picture. But if it's remotely close to that, I've seen it somewhere anyway where he's like leaping. I mean, if it can get anywhere near that ballpark, like golly, man, I don't know. I'm a fan. I need to see if I have a place for this anywhere, and I'm not honestly sure that I do. And then there's the other thing that I wanted to talk about here, which was the this Valkyrie Prime.
Is that the rock and roll?
Is that the one with the guitar?
Yeah, it's like
that. What?
So it's a collaboration between Macross and Takara to make an Optimus Prime that turns into like a jet from Macross.
So this thing will transform?
It will transform.
Yeah.
The reason why it has this guitar is because like later Macross stuff like it has some like goofy stuff, or like some characters will like play music to like enhance their like chances of battle or something like silly. But
wow, like they're all bards.
But I think it looks good. I'm interested to see this with color if they're going to go. So they'll probably do both. They'll probably do like a traditional red and blue Prime, and then they'll do like an all white and red to try to like Skyfire it out, and that way,
right?
You know,
Robert, you gonna buy this Missing Link RC?
Oh, I would.
This thing looks terrible too, but I understand what it does.
I would make fan fiction with her in it.
Yeah, I'm all for, especially now, like that I've started buying like just these. I don't know if it does. I don't have to have any connection to it as far as like media wise, but if it's just a cool looking robot, I'm down to pick it up.
Yeah, well, so I think that is Takara's new approach, and I'm kind of here for it. Like,
me too.
I've given Takara a lot of grief over the past couple of years, or maybe even 5 years, about like their direction and everything, and them not really having a clear direction and being confusing. And now it looks like they're like, look, we just want to make cool stuff that is tied into our brand.
Did you see yourself here 5 years ago?
No, but I am here, and I think part of it is because I find a lot of what other things are going on so boring, right? So many companies making carbon copy versions of the same character, where it's like, except
right. And now you're just getting to the point you're like, yeah, right. I just want to see something cool. I just want to buy something that looks cool now.
Exactly.
Right. I'm tired of like it's the same characters getting made over and over again, and they're getting more and more slimmed and dumbed down, and it's like, okay, great. I just want to see something cool looking.
Yeah. Even this RC that you were talking about, just this like G1, like I love that. That
they're just kind of redoing them with
So the
articulated points.
Well, they're not redoing it. It was never made.
Oh no, right. All right.
So like there was never a G1 RC. There was like a design for one. So they like made a G1 RC that could like go with your like vintage collection to like represent the character that was like true to the design of what it was going to be. Like, and I just think that shit's cool. Like it's creative. It's something different. It's like
and it's knowing your fan base.
Yeah, it's clever.
It's knowing that like, people are collecting this stuff and there's a market for it.
Robert, as a Flame Toys collector, what do you think about this Adamas?
I'm actually conflicted because I'm like, damn, do I want it to transform? Which is a weird question it's causing in my head.
Yeah, and especially when I'll be honest with you, I think this is cool, but
yeah, it's cool.
But I can see how if you were a Flame Toys supporter and you had spent a significant amount of money on this Flame Toys Rodimus just for Takara to take the same design, make it transform and sell it for half the price, that would feel away.
I feel like you're going to lose out. Like, I don't think the alt mode looks good on this. And I think you're getting, maybe stylistically, you're getting something similar, but it's nowhere near the Flames toys. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or the Flame toys. Right.
It's not going to be on the same level.
This alt mode looks like trash.
Also pretty close to what it's supposed to look like. The only complaint I really have about this alt mode, just looking at it, is where the windshield meets the base. It looks like it should come, so to speak, like a half inch closer to seal up.
Like to the yellow more.
Yeah, and it might when it's all said and done.
Takara is actually making this, or they license this out to somebody?
No, Takara is making this.
Even that Predaking they're making?
Yes.
Makes me a little bit more nervous.
I wouldn't
versus them licensing it out to somebody, but
I don't know. I think Takara is perfectly capable of making good stuff. I don't know. At the very least, like I may not buy most of this stuff. So that's the other part of it, right? Is the business end. Because I don't know where the audience is and if they'll find one, but I can't base that just off of my taste.
Are you going to buy the Predaking?
I got to see if I can find a spot for it. Even if I don't buy any of it, at least it has done something to make me excited about any of it.
Right. I do like do like that they're making it and not just keeping it like.
Right.
I like that they're branching out. Like, we don't need to make things that just go into Walmart and Target.
Yeah.
We can make things that kind of, elevate that and can be sold other places.
Well, like
it's almost like they said, it's almost as if they were like, you know what? We know that there's a market for high-end collectors. Let's create a new world for them.
Yeah.
I think that's a better lane for them too, versus like we can try and keep competing with 3P stuff, or we can just create a whole new avenue for ourselves.
I do too.
And I think that's
it's funny because like I think honestly, like there's only only two masterpieces shown here. There's the Rat Trap, and then there's the recolor of this Power Master Prime.
Right.
And they're the two things I'm least interested in what they showed, in regards to the Takara specific stuff. Like, even that missing link stuff, like, it's not for me, but I think it's cool. Like, I think the concept of taking these old G1 toys and adding in articulation at the knees and hips and elbows or whatever that they never had to make them come to life a little bit more is just a conceptually cool idea. I would be tempted to buy like a Kenner 3 3/4 Han Solo that had like extra articulation,
Right. I'm surprised they haven't done that too, like branched out that way.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I just think a lot of this stuff is just a new approach, and it just feels fresh. It feels new,
I mean, this Rodimus can go on his own shelf. That Predaking can go on its own shelf. Rat Trap is not getting his own shelf.
No, but Rock and Roll Prime can go on his own shelf.
Going back to real fast to this Valkyrie Prime, is that supposed to be the Matrix in the middle of this guitar? It looks like a gem that's in there.
Oh, no. Yeah.
That doesn't bother me, actually.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I don't think that's bad, yeah.
If you look at that looks like a face to me with like two eyes with like reading,
right.
reading glasses, and then like his little mouth down below.
That's funny. Looks like an 80s style b-boy character.
But at any rate, I'm just happy that Takara has made something that at least has turned my head and made me want to look into it a bit more.
I hope it does well to encourage, at least the stuff that looks interesting, I hope it does well just to encourage them to keep doing more.
Same.
I need to see a rat riding a gorilla riding a rhino.
Beans on toast.
I want
strawberry cheesecake, vape juice.
Bobby Skullface unhappily in the vape shop, surrounded by stupid people.
25-foot microphone cable.
Hey, can I say something real quick before we get out of here? Some people have thrown a fit about the AI images. None of us take that stuff seriously. We're not trying to sell images. We're not trying to infringe on artists. It's just a joke. Either laugh or move on.